Welcome to my presentation, La Famiglia Fratellini da Roma by Paris Bermudez. During this presentation, I will take you through the story and tangled web of the Fratellini family members with dates and facts I have catalogued through the discovery of a family tomb, archival evidence such as the Catasto Urbano, Guida Monaci, a biography, and the Archivio Storico Capellino documents, photographs, maps, and educated inference. I will give several possible paths of lineage and try to answer some of the big who's who questions. Through this presentation, I hope to give you a clear view of the Fratellini family and their presence in Rome. I will first explain who the Fratellini are and why I am discussing them. Using the Catasto Urbano, which is a record of property ownership in Rome from 1818 through the 1820s, the previous JCU master's cohort discovered a group of brothers, Fratellini of Filippo, listed as the property owners of what is now the Guarini campus at Via della Lungara 233. With further research into the Fratellini, they discovered several names and the biography of Domenico Fratellini, titled Elogio Storico del Canonico Domenico Fratellini, by his close friend Francesco di Fabimontani, published the year of his death, which is where my work with the Fratellini family tree begins. As the product of my research, I have created this family tree and will refer to it throughout the presentation. As you can see here, there are two main branches of the Fratellini family, beginning with Luigi and Giovanni. All the members seen here are either from Domenico's biography or from the tomb found in Campo Verano Cimitero by Christopher Mandel. Please note that next to several names, I have added a Roman numeral. These are solely for organization and are not documented with the actual names. Please take a moment now to pause the presentation and examine the tree further. From Domenico's biography, we learn the names of the parents, Filippo and Anna Maria Lackler. Although Filippo dies 2 years after the birth of Domenico, his name is found in the Catasto Urbano, referred to as the father of the brothers. Domenico himself was an established figure in the community of his neighborhood and was a priest who did some work in the local penitentiary. He was involved in the local churches Santa Maria del Pianto, San Tommaso ai Cenci, and even delivered sermons in the San Giovanni Laterano for a time. He is described as being tall, with an average physique, with fair skin, a big forehead, blue eyes, blonde curly hair, and red lips, who was always happy, had noble gestures, and never said more than was necessary. He lived with his brothers in their family home in Piazza Giudia, now Piazza delle Cinque Scole, until his death in 1846, when he commissioned a mausoleum in Campo Verano Cimitero. From the biography, we learn that his brother Luigi married Anna Maria Bossi, but died in 1831, and Niccolò took responsibility of his children. However, this care fell to Domenico when Niccolò died in 1840. Only one child is mentioned, Alessandro, who becomes a priest in 1843. I assume that both Domenico and Alessandro's lineage ends here due to their clerical professions. Alessandro's name is also on the Fratellini tomb in Campo Verano, which is found through maps and understanding the historical growth of the cemetery. Taking into account that the cemetery was damaged through Allied bombings in 1943, directed at the nearby Termini train station, this is not the original Domenico Fratellini mausoleum, but a newer family tomb. More research in the cemetery archives must be done to confirm the original tomb's position and inclusive family members. On this tomb is also the name Andrea Fratellini, who we can definitively say is the brother to Alessandro and the other nephew of Domenico. In the Archivio Storico Capitolino is a document where the two brothers are asking permission to add a livable attic to their home in Via di Monte Brianzo, 29-33, in 1872. Also found in the 1871 La Guida di Commerciale Scientifica e Artistica della Capitale d'Italia, essentially a phone book for businesses, Andrea Fratellini is listed under professions of the legal class as a prosecutor. Another connection from the tomb that can be drawn is Andrea's wife, Giuditta Donetti. Found in the archives is a letter asking for her husband's body to be moved from a temporary tomb and presumably to the family tomb in 1884. I believe Luigi Fratellini to be the son of Andrea and Giuditta. All three are found on the tomb. I end his lineage here as his name is off to the side under Alessandro, his uncle, with no plausible wife or children included on the tomb. Lastly, found on the tomb are three Fratellini for whom I need more evidence to place convincingly on the tree. Now I will discuss the Giovanni branch of the Fratellini family. We first come across Giovanni at our very own Guarini campus, on the plaque above Via Porta Settimana 5, discovered by Tatiana Sereno. The date of this plaque is debated amongst my colleagues, as it could have been placed at any time. However, evidence from the Catasto Urbano dated mid-1820s, lists the four brothers as owning the Via Porta Settimana address. The sole ownership and placement of the plaque must have fell in the hands of Giovanni later. We then see the name Giovanni Fratellini listed on numerous advertisements related to different businesses in Trastevere and near the ghetto. However, we also find the term ditta attached to these records, meaning company. The original Giovanni was born probably around 1789 and died after 1846 because his death is not mentioned in the Domenico biography. I speculate that he started the ditta Giovanni Fratellini and was the major property and business owner of the family. The date of the Porta Settimana plaque aligns with this theory and his business activities. It is in the archives where we find mention of Filippo Fratellini fu Giovanni. Though Filippo does not seem very active in the Fratellini business, as his son, Pio, appears as the owner of the Piazza Santa Maria del Pianto property during an expropriation by the state in 1906. All three of their names arise at different points, and it is clear the ditta or company of this branch of the family is called Ditta Giovanni Fratellini. This brings us to the question of there being two Giovannis, which I would like to resolve. What has previous scholars confused is the wide range of dates from 1818 to 1915 found in the Catasto Urbano and Archivio Storico Capitolino documents that are associated with the name Giovanni Fratellini. My explanation for this is that the family kept the name of the company in place over time. It undoubtedly became an established name and brand of the family regardless of who the proprietor was throughout the years. This easily explains why we see his name so late when the actual Giovanni certainly would not be living. What brought me to this conclusion of the Giovanni question were the Guida Monaci 1915 and 1896 editions, which are essentially an independent annual phone book publication for registered businesses in Rome. Listed is the Ditta Fratellini and all the associated properties, but also clearly lists Pio Fratellini as the proprietor of the Ditta, proving he was surely still using the name after Giovanni's death, probably in around 1865. Another complication arises as Pio Fratellini probably was not born until around 1850. Who was managing the property between Giovanni's death and when Pio takes over? Evidently, Filippo did not have much involvement in the business of the family, and it lands in the hands of Pio pretty quickly. I speculate that Giovanni had another son named Salvatore, who managed at least the drogheria in Piazza Santa Maria del Pianto for a time. This idea comes from the very clear photograph dated 1882 from Roma Sparita showing a large sign above the known address of the family business with the name Salvatore Fratellini. Aside from this, Salvatore is listed in the 1879 Guida Monaci along with Giovanni under Giorgieri, suggesting some involvement in the business. Salvatore must have died quickly with no children as Pio soon takes over the property, at least by 1891, where his name is advertised alongside the Del Pianto address. To finish this branch of the family, I have also placed Paolo as a brother to Salvatore and Filippo, sons of Giovanni. Paolo is documented as being a beneficiary of San Pietro Vaticano and is associated with a local orphanage. Assuming his clerical profession, his line ends here. For now, the trail ends in 1906 with Pio and the expropriation of what seems to be the last known address of the Fratellini family drogheria, leaving a launch pad for the next cycle of research on the family. At the beginning of this project, there were 8 Fratellini, which grew to 18, and more to be discovered. The Fratellini family is no doubt integral to the history of the John Cabot University Quarini campus, but also to the fabric of Rome. It is these hard-working businessmen and families involved in their communities that have shaped Rome over the centuries. Our university is a part of this legacy. Thank you.